Hello and welcome to another segment of Picture a Better Tomorrow, brought to you by Kanawha County Schools TV, Suddenlink Communication, and the United Way of Central West Virginia. So here we are in Thanksgiving week. So here's the first challenge. Go find something to be thankful for. We are such a critical people these days. We don't like the way we look. We don't like how old we are. We don't like our politics. We don't like a lot of things. But boy, we sure do have a lot to be thankful for. So today, we're joined by two ladies who do a whole lot of work during Thanksgiving, but more importantly, they're very, very concerned about Christmas. Now I know all you folks out there are saying, oh my gosh, Christmas already? Well, I'm joined by Barb Mallory, who is the Information Referral Director for United Way of Central West Virginia, but also the Director of the local Christmas Bureau.
Correct.
And Melanie Cochran, who is the Federal Grant Program person for the West Virginia Department of Education, works in federal programs, but she's also very involved with the whole Secret Santa program.
Correct.
So, Barb, you started talking about Christmas in our office back in the summer.
Yes, I did.
So you really get a head start. Tell us a little bit about the Christmas Bureau and what it is and how it works.
The Christmas Bureau is the clearinghouse for most of the toy providers and food providers in the 3 counties, Putnam, Boone, and Kanawha County. And we start planning back in July. We get everybody together, which is about 30 different organizations, churches, different groups. And we get together in July and we talk about how we want to do it, how they want to do the programs this year. And so our job at the Christmas Bureau is to bring everybody together at the same table so we can all have a discussion and everybody be on the same page. And we decide, they decide what areas they're going to serve, and that way when somebody calls my office, I know where to direct them to go sign up or who's going to help them. And then we take all the applications in our office and we put them in the same database, which prevents duplication of services. Folks can't go from one agency to another and sign up for multiple resources for one person. That way we can help a lot more children and a lot more families receive toys and food and things like that. It's a great partnership, lots of fun, so I start getting in the Christmas spirit in July.
Name some of the partners that you work with each year.
Well, our largest toy provider is Secret Santa, by far. And then we have Boggs of Blessing, which is through the Nazarene Church. That's in Kanawha County. We have the Salvation Army works with us, Heart and Hand in 2 different locations, Kanawha and Putnam County. The Boone County Community Organization takes our applications in Boone County. Enact is vital. They've got sign-up locations for us all over Kanawha County, Boone County, and Putnam County. So that's really helpful. And a lot of church groups like Good Shepherd Mission works with us, Covenant House, Union Mission, just all the big players and all the small players.
So that's really cool. So it's a coordination of activity,
Yes.
Again, to make sure that we don't have duplication of services.
Right.
And we take these precious donations and support, this support from around the community and stretch it as far as possible for people who have a need during the holiday season.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of folks that are experiencing it for the first time. It's the first time they've ever had to ask for Christmas help, and they don't even have a clue where to start. So it's really helpful when they can call our office. We ask every single person what their zip code is, because this is very zip code specific. Secret Santa does not take care of all of the area. They have certain zip codes they take care of. But by us getting together as a group, we have every single zip code in all 3 counties covered. Somebody's going to help them.
So Melody, working for the Department of Education, but also a Secret Santa expert. Mm-hmm. There's some people that are so uneducated they don't think there's a Santa Claus.
There's a Santa.
There is a Santa Claus. We're here to tell you that there's a whole lot of different Santa Clauses, and if you question that, you just ought to scratch your head a little bit.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about Secret Santa and how all these different Santas operate in this community.
We have Santas that some are new to us this year, and some of them have done this for years, but they call our office the beginning of November through the 28th, and get one of the children that has come into our program. We ask that they sponsor that child, get that child's top 3 toy choices, and we ask that the kids try to keep the toys under $25 a piece, so it's a commitment of $75. Wonderful people in this valley come through every year.
How many kids or how many children are served by a Secret Santa on a typical annual basis?
It varies. I think this year we're getting really close to 1,400 children.
So that's quite an outreach, and so there's 1,400 Santa Clauses out there.
There are.
Or multiples of that are helping out. So the phone number that people could call, because we're right in the middle of that time frame that you were talking about here in Thanksgiving week, that is 304-344-TOYS.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so they would just call and register with Secret Santa.
And they'll give them a specific child with their toy choices so that they can buy for that specific child. If they don't want to shop, they can donate, and we have elves that love to shop.
Gotcha. My wife is one of those elves.
Yes,
she loves to
she
go out and
is.
shop during the Christmas season, and I just push the buggy. It is kind of fun. So, Barb, back to the whole coordination thing. As you reach out, so we're talking about toys. What other type of support is coordinated through the Christmas Bureau?
Well, there's a lot of food pantries that cooperate and have food baskets and things. So we have all 3 counties, well, no, we have all of Kanawha County covered. And that's wonderful because folks can pick those up in their own neighborhoods. We have many, many churches involved with that.
So you mentioned an application process. Are there time frames for the application?
Yes, we mail out applications the 1st of September, as well as Secret Santa. They mail their applications.
So those are already out.
Yes, those go out early, and we take applications until the first week in November for certain providers. That's, again, since you have different ones, you have different deadlines. That's why it's important to always know to call the Christmas Bureau and see who's helping in your area. And then we have backup providers that are now stepping up since the deadlines have come that may be able to help families.
So if there's some overrun or some excess need, those folks are just kind of in the background saying, here we are,
Yes.
in case you were kind of the safety net.
Yes.
Really, really cool. Melody, back to Secret Santa for a minute. You reach out to multiple counties, 1,400 or so kids or children each year. Are there other programs that do the same thing around the state that people could reach out to if they're seeing, for example, this broadcast in another county?
I always refer people. I'm not really sure what other counties have, but I always refer them to the United Way in their area because I assume that they would be able to point them in the right direction.
Yeah, usually the local United Way will have at least information about
Correct.
activities, if not a connection somehow with those organizations. So from both of your perspectives, it seems like that the Christmas Bureau coordination, in combination with Toys for Tots and the food providers and anybody else that would want to be involved, to reach out to contact you, Barb, at
Yes.
the United Way office, and that number is 304.
414-4405.
414-4405, because it is a great way to coordinate activities. So just to be very frank or blunt with people, you don't make decisions about who gets what.
No.
You just make decisions about who is getting anything.
I try to make sure folks are given the information for their particular area. And all we do is point them in the right direction or tell them where they can sign up, that type of thing.
But then you know that John Doe is receiving support in Boone County and Mary Jones is receiving support in Kanawha County, and so there's not a duplication of service for either
Right.
one of those individuals, and there's again the spreading of the wealth so that we get as much bang for our buck as we can as a supporting community.
Absolutely.
That's really great. So how could Christmas Bureau be used beyond the holiday season?
Well, that's an interesting question because I think the food providers and the utility assistance providers in the area use Service Point and do that very thing. They have a database as well that they go into and make sure that there's not duplication of services there.
So you mean that throughout the year,
Yeah.
we actually as a community have the capacity to make sure that people aren't abusing the system, there's no duplication of services, and we're stretching resources in March and April and May and June just as far as we possibly can.
Absolutely.
That's a really great opportunity. Melanie, back to you and Secret Santa. So you work for the state of West Virginia. Barb, you're full-time employed at United Way of Central West Virginia. This is a volunteer program for you.
We're totally volunteer. We have a board, and we all volunteer our time. Great group of people that are passionate about making sure kids don't get left out at Christmas time.
So are you able to work on this during your business time?
A little bit. I do. We do a lot with Facebook, so I try to check that throughout the day. The ladies that we have working in our office are excellent, but if they run into a question that they're not sure on, they'll give me a call at work. But for the most part, I do it in the evenings and weekends.
So I didn't mention that to put you on the spot with your employer, the state of West Virginia. I mentioned it to really point out how generous local businesses and in fact state government is allowing employees to be involved in things like this that they volunteer for, but you know, you get a phone call or you need to check a Facebook post or a text message or something regarding your volunteer efforts,
Right.
And your employer doesn't say, wait a minute, you can't do that on my time, you have to focus on this particular federal program or
That's
whatever it
correct.
might be. So
They're pretty
you know, we
good.
run into that with Dave Caring and some other things where the generosity of the local business community is just really unbelievable.
Some of our best sponsors are corporate sponsors, and it's businesses that allow their employees to put a group together that sponsor children, hundreds of children every year.
Absolutely. So are there specific groups that you reach out to make sure that they're aware of the opportunity through Secret Santa?
We try to, we have several radio stations that do really nice advertising for us, and we try to get it out on social media as much as possible. We have corporations that we go to every year that have been around for us, so we go back to them every year.
And I guess that repeat is pretty easy. Once people see the impact and
Correct.
the ease of support, it gets to be pretty easy. And
It
so
is. We lost some of our corporate sponsors when some of the coal mines left the area, so it has left us struggling this year to try to get everyone taken care of. Between that and the floods, it's, you know, we picked up new children this year because of all the flooding. So
yeah, so that's a good question, or good segue into the question. Is there a specific outreach to, for example, Elkview, Clendenin area because of the devastation of the June 23rd flood?
Barb has been working with them and with us to put the two of us together. So she could probably talk to you better about that than I could.
Okay.
I was able to partner with a social worker that Kanawha County Schools assigned to the flooded area that's specifically working with children who are displaced because of the floods, because we had no way to reach them. And so what she has done is she personally contacted every single child, every single family to see if they needed Christmas assistance. And Secret Santa waived the normal requirements, guidelines, and they accepted any child that was impacted by the flood that needed help this year.
That's great. That's great. You know, because people are faced with a crisis, so let's go out of our way to reach out to folks,
Right.
because in some cases they are living with friends or relatives or
Right.
someplace outside their normal household, but they do show up at school.
Right.
So if we can touch base with them in school and maybe even the parents at that level, then that's a great way to reconnect and make sure that they know that there's a whole bunch of really concerned community folks and business people that are here to help. Wow. What a great story. Thank you, Melanie Cochran from the Department of Education, but also Secret Santa. So if you don't believe there's a Santa Claus,
Call me, I'll tell you
you
about
better
it.
scratch your head. Call Melody at 304-344-TOYS
Correct.
and talk to her about Santa Claus. And Barb Mallory with information or referral at United Way, more importantly, the director of the local Christmas Bureau at 304-414-4405.
Right.
So thanks both you ladies for this Thanksgiving cheer during this week, but we're really focused on Christmas and the next event. So enjoy your week. Thanks for being with us. So stay tuned. We're going to have the second segment in just a few minutes, and it will be a success story, and we will talk about being thankful. Please join us in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the second segment of Picture a Better Tomorrow, brought to you by Kanawha County Schools TV. Suddenlink Communications, and the United Way of Central West Virginia.